Okay, so we're gonna record how to do a quick turntable. Okay, so last time we made a simple one just by having the object and then moving it in the sequencer. However, as we have more objects this time, I think it's not as useful to select everything, group it and make it turn around, especially if you got particles or things like that. So to make our life easier, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a crane. So let's do that. Let's add cinematic and then camera rig crane. Okay. And the first thing that I want to do is put it to 0, 0, 0. Simple as that. Now I want to align it to the middle of my scene. So I'm going to go down to top. I'm going to grab that there and I'm going to say my middle must be around somewhere here. So I'm just going to push it forward and then zoom in a bit to make sure that I'm quite ish in the middle. Okay. Okay, something like that. Then I'm gonna make sure on the left that I'm on 0, which I am. And you can tell I'm on 0 on set, so that's fine. Let's go back to perspective. And then what we're gonna need to go with it is a camera. Again, it's always an analogy that I like to use. It's like a selfie stick. So, cinematic, and then I'm gonna go to Cine Camera Actor. Again, I'm gonna go down to the top view. I'm gonna push it to where I think it should be, and then I'm going to rotate it about 180 degrees. Let's see. Okay. So now I need to go on the left view just to make sure that I'm on the right height to make it match. Okay. So about there. There we go. So we have set up our crane and the camera. So now we need to parent the camera to the crane. And in Unreal, it's quite easy to do that. So we can select, it's a bit like Maya. You can grab it and then just drag it on top of what you want it to be apparent. And there we go. So now when I select my crane and I say I'm going to increase my pitch, you can see it's moving up with the camera. However, there's a problem, as you can see. As I move up, the camera starts moving and staying on the same axis. So that's not good for us as we wanted to focus on something. So let me put that to 0 again. And I'm going to do a little cheat sheet here. I'm going to go and create a little box. So shapes, cube. Again, I'm going to put it to same location as this is. So I'm going to select my crane. I'm going to right click in the middle and I'm going to click copy. I'm going to grab my box, right click and paste. So now that's in the middle. I'm going to move it up a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my camera. I'm going to go down to where it says lookup tracking settings. If you do not see this, it's just because you put a normal camera actor. And for this, you need a Cine Camera Actor, okay? So let's expand this. I'm going to tell it I want to pick my box. And then I'm going to enable tracking. And you can see it right away. It just rotate a tiny bit to match it, okay? And what's interesting, if you move this down, the camera will follow it. So, okay, let's grab our crane now. And like I told you guys earlier, I want it to be about 25 degrees. And then I want it to be a bit far. I want to be able to see all of my environment. So, okay. So can you see how this is not in the middle? So if we were to zoom in, how can we fix that? Let's grab our box. See if I move it up, will that work? That's too high. Let's move the box down a little bit. Almost. I think that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna go a tiny bit far. Grab my box again. Move it down again. Let's just select that again. So close. And then I could open a separate window to see what the camera is doing, but I'm just being lazy today. So there we go. I think that's about it. So if we were to rotate it now, you can see it's going to rotate quite nicely here. Okay, so let's save it. However, there's a big white box in the middle of my scene, which we don't want. So let's select that box and let's search for visibility. And let's just turn that off. So now it's no longer there. However, it is helping us keep the camera on the right location. Okay. So next, I need to create my sequencer. So there's two ways, as I told you earlier, to create a sequencer. You can go here and click on add level sequence or add level sequence with shots. If you got more than one shot, I would recommend you use this. But for this, we're only using a level sequence. Or you can create a folder like I told you earlier, right click, cinematics, level sequence, and the shortcut to start with, ls_sequence. I'm gonna save all, because I don't want to crash. Sometimes it crashes when you use a rig, so better to be safe. I'm gonna open my camera rig, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag it in. At the moment it's 150 frames, and I think that's too little. So I'm gonna go to my settings, I'm gonna make it 300 frames, and I only want to see 300, and I want it to be 0 here. Okay. So all we need is to tell it to go around. I had 360 degrees. So that's quite simple. Once we have this here, I'm gonna click on this little key here, which is gonna add a keyframe, as you can see here. And then we're gonna go all the way to 300. And you can see the number here changing. And I'm gonna say, right, I'm gonna do 360. I'm gonna key it again. So now when we look around it, seems to be animating. Okay, and you can see it here. Now, what's the problem? We have no camera here at the moment, so let's add the camera. So if we right click and then go add actor to sequencer, and let's find the camera and add it. Automatically it's showcasing and we're on the camera mode. So if we were to click play, it's just going to rotate now. However, if you notice about something about animation, we have easy in and easy out, meaning it's like a car. So we're going slowly and then starting to grab speed, and then we slow down again till we kind of stop. And we don't want that if we're making a turntable, do we? So make sure that we go into our camera rig. I'm going to select my curve editor. I like to zoom out because I like to see what I'm doing. Select both of the keyframes, press F, and then I'm going to change it to a linear interpolation. And then save it. And now when I click play, let me make sure I go into the camera. It's going to have a nice, smooth rotation without stopping. Okay. So now, if you want to see all the effects that you have, let's click play. I'm going to click on my camera, and I'm going to click play. And hopefully that should do it. There we go. Nice test. And it's just going to carry on moving. If you're stopping after one go, can you see on the bottom here? You can do it like here, so it's going to be no looping and it's going to stop. Or you can make it loop, and then you know how it's going to look when you actually have a video looping. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I hope it's useful. See you in a bit.